best than beef and coolies.
The well-being of women determines the well-being of society. Know it, live it, love it. This is Aquarius, the age of divine feminine.
Our comedian Donnell Rawlings just weighed in on the Katt Williams interview and him going at a lot of different celebrities. Hey, make sure you hit the like button and share the video. Roll tape.
Now, this is what I want people to understand, that everybody's path is not the same path. The way I get on might not be the way you get on, but at the end of the day, who gets on? And did you, this is the most important thing, did you have the worth ethics to make it? A lot of people have questioned people's success by what they personally think about them, how they do their craft, and what they do. And it's safe to say that there are a lot of people, like if you go to Kevin Hart's page, there's 179 followers that I would say pretty much agree that Kevin Hart put his work in. If you follow Katt Williams' career, it's safe to say there's millions and millions of people that know that he's put the work in to make it. But everybody's path is not the same path. What I hate about this whole thing is how nasty the internet is. How you try to discredit anybody's hustle. It was said that Kevin Hart is a plant. Kevin Hart didn't put the work in. But I would say, this is not taking any sides. I don't want to play that shit because at the end of the day, I'm a funny motherfucker myself. But I remember a young Kevin Hart. I remember a Kevin Hart that used to commute from Philadelphia to New York every night. I remember Kevin Hart that started doing some of the ghetto rooms, which some people think that's the only path you're supposed to make, just associated with black people. I seen Kevin Hart come up to New York every night, work the most ghetto spots, and also had the opportunity to work some mainstream spots, had the opportunity to cross over, not sell out, and this is what people don't understand, to cross over. Also heard and don't know what Katt Williams' story is, but also understand that Katt Williams, he's been in the trenches. He's done some of the things that a lot of people won't do to make it. I'm not saying nothing no negative way or no that the shit about what you got to do to make it Hollywood, but that has paid his dues. An unfortunate thing about this, with all this, and we're talking about a week, we can't dismiss the career of Kevin, can't dismiss the career of Katt Williams, but people need to understand the way you get something don't necessarily have to be the same way somebody else gets something. I remember Kevin Hart and his boy Nate Smith, who was one of the biggest promoters in the North Carolina area, went hand to hand, filling out comment cards, getting email addresses, building a following, going from city to city. Kevin had people follow his journey. The reason why people love him is because he let people be a part of what he's doing, and he made a way for himself. I've heard stories of Katt Williams not being necessarily respected by people in the industry, having to get no's from everybody, having to prove a point. And both of these motherfuckers have to prove a point because they're only 4'3", 4'5", and we all know people that height have to go extra hard. But I do think it's unfair. It's to discredit anything that these two guys have done to put themselves in a better position. And as much as people want to talk shit about Kevin, this is what I understand and respect about Kevin. Most black entertainers, when they get to a certain level in this business, you see less black people around them. That's the realest thing. The thing that I respect, when you see how Kevin moves, you see his entourage, you see the people around him, guess what? 90% of those people are people that are black. And not just doing favors for people because they're black, not just doing favors for people because they're friends, but people that are in a position that can hold their own. Every interview I've ever seen, and when Kevin talks about his success, when Kevin talks about not how much money he makes, but one interview he said, it's no fun being wealthy if you're not sharing it with your friends. And I personally know that in his crew, he's put a lot of people in position to win. He's dialed it back. He's done his thing. He's been supportive of his community. And on the other hand, I've seen and heard of stories of Katt Williams. You're hearing it right now. All the things he's done for his friends. I particularly know 3 people on that tour that had good careers, but Katt takes them on, not being intimidated by how funny they are. And he said something. Everybody that's on the Katt Williams tour on the show is funny motherfuckers. Everybody is headliners. But when do we stop dividing each other and there's an opportunity to give everybody their roses? Everybody's path is not the same fucking path, but you cannot discredit the efforts that these people have put in to do good, not just for themselves, but for everybody else. Everything Katt Williams said in that interview reminded me of locker room talk. It reminded me of stuff that you talk to your closest friend about in the green room. And finally, something makes you snap where you say, I want to tell the world how I feel. And it's unfortunate that we're using this opportunity to divide 2 people that have done so much for comedy. 2 people that have done so much for their fucking community. 2 people, for the most part, that stay out of trouble. 2 people, for the most part, don't subscribe to what the Hollywood rules are. No matter how you want to take it. You paint the picture that Kevin's a plant. There was another conversation. Well, Kevin did his grind in New York, then he came out to California and he was a plant. There was a rule back in the day when I started, especially if you was an East Coast comic. You don't go to LA premature. You don't go to LA until they call you. And I've seen the mark that Kevin put on the industry in New York. And you know what? When you align yourself with Hollywood, you get opportunities, and part of it is because who you're associated with. Are there gatekeepers out here that keep people away? Yes. Are there people that bust down those gates? Are those people that kick down that shit and do it their way? Yes. I played the Bill Withers song. One of us has to say we're sorry because we'll never be friends again. I don't know if these 2 that I'm talking about could ever be friends again, but something have to give, and we have to respect the fact, or we have to respect what both of these men have done for their careers, and what these men have done for their friends and family and everybody. I'm going to take questions because it's be curious. And this is what I hate. People being nasty. We can agree to disagree. We can understand Katt Williams' points. We can understand Kevin Hart's points. But we can talk about it. I'm going to open this shit up and I'm going to let people talk what they think. Whose side? I want a conversation, and I have been doing this for 32 years, and some questions people don't understand or get because they don't have knowledge on the inner workings or inner mechanics or how stand-up comedy works. If you want to go live, send a request, and I want to answer your questions. I got love for both of these motherfuckers. I got love for comedy. One thing I will understand, where I'll get is that it's bringing us attention to comedy. And at the end of the day, here's my position. I'm going to let motherfuckers argue and fight on the internet all they want. I'm going to let motherfuckers be chatty patties on podcasts, whatever. But what I want to do, and this is a good time for all the comedians that's listening to this, to get your weight up. So when you get a shot and you get an opportunity, you can make that shot. Nobody going to give you shit in this business. Who up? We up. Who sleep? They sleep. Who want to talk? Thoughts. Who are we up? Who sleep? They sleep. If you want to talk about this, and if you have a